What's good, everybody? Okay, you guys. So today we have a serious episode on human trafficking. Perfect. This is a huge epidemic that is going on right now, especially like in this area of Wisconsin. Milwaukee is like been pretty bad with this. And I got a special co-host today. Joyce will be joining me on this discussion, you guys. If you guys know anything about human trafficking, if you've been, human trafficked at one point in your life, if you know somebody who has been trafficked at one point in their life, feel free to leave comments. I will be looking out for comments in this episode. So please chime in with anything you may know about human trafficking. So as I said, Milwaukee is huge on human trafficking. As you guys may or may not know, human traffickers target hotels. Wouldn't you agree? Or do you know anything about the fact that like human traffickers, they use hotels a lot for their clientele, is what they call it. So you guys, hotels are huge for human trafficking, and you guys, when you go to hotels, keep your eye out for being followed in elevators, because you just gotta be careful because it's a huge thing. Backpage.com was huge for human trafficking. I don't know if you guys remember, Backpage is kind of like the sister website to Craigslist, but Backpage was under fire.
Today, Carl Ferrer, the CEO of Backpage.com, the man behind what authorities are calling the world's top online brothel, facing criminal charges for the very first time.
Because it was such an outlet for like prostitution and human trafficking and all that. So,
form of advertising.
Yes.
To pick up the young ladies, and not even necessarily ladies, men, you guys too.
How many encounters do you think you had during that time?
Over 150.
Over 150?
Yeah.
Would that have been possible without Backpage?
No way.
Right.
So yeah, Backpage is no longer in existence.
Did they shut it down completely?
They did. Craigslist, though, is another thing that they're doing now. They're back to Craigslist.
I know Craigslist might be more on top of it, though. Because I think Backpage, the owners of Backpage was actually in on it. And I think they actually are doing jail time for prostitution because it was their website. So they are responsible for everything that was going on that website. So, yeah, Backpage was seriously under fire. And that site, I think, has been taken down since all this has been happening. But one thing, another thing you guys need to be aware of is that Milwaukee is ranks almost number one in the country for human trafficking. So Milwaukee, Wisconsin is terrible, and I think it's tied with Las Vegas as far as human trafficking goes.
Yeah, it's the I-94 expressway to Chicago and Milwaukee is their biggest form of travel. That's their largest form of travel.
I-94?
So when you're on I-94 headed back and forth, that is a lot of the times that's their number one travel way. Mm-hmm. And Milwaukee is actually number one for human trafficking right now.
Port Washington Road in Milwaukee is very, very common for human trafficking. And did you know that a lot of the girls that they take are usually under 13 years old?
Between 12 and 14.
Yeah, so they start these girls off very young, and they manipulate these girls. What do you know about? What have you heard about that? As far as they kind of take them in early, And then they manipulate them to think what, that they need them, or
yeah, they believe there used to be where they just took you. That's all changing because it's too common for them now. So what they'll do is they will begin taking these young ladies from the ages of 12 to 14, and they will have them leave home for a weekend. So the mother may report the child as a missing child for the weekend, but she's actually with this person who's manipulating her. And she'll go back home after the weekend and she's fine and safe according to her, and because she's being manipulated. Mom doesn't think anything's wrong because she returned home. But what she's doing is she's getting trained. And once she's trained, she's going to willingly leave. She's not going to get took against her will. She will willingly leave with these traffickers. She will be told that life is going to be great. She's going to make this kind of money. She's going to have this kind of career, this job. And actually, she's going into a form of slavery is what's going to happen when she leaves the home, and she leaves willingly. So that takes one more step away for them, because now they're not taking you. You're leaving willingly. So that kind of makes it hard to prosecute if you leave willingly.
So would you agree that human trafficking is kind of like the modern day slavery? I mean, what is your take on that?
It actually is classified as a form of modern day slavery. It actually is the second largest criminal act in the criminal population, and it's on the rise. 27 million people a year or more are being exploited and brought into this human trafficking. You guys, when you hear human trafficking, you may think that you think sexual. There's actually three forms of it. There is sex trafficking, there is forced labor, which is young children working in shops or places that they should not be working. They are not being fed the correct way, they're being malnourished, and they are not being cared for properly, and they are actually working for business owners for free. So these business owners don't have to pay employees because they are forcing these young children into working for them for free. And then you also have debt bondage, which is you basically go into human trafficking and you're going to human traffic your way to pay off your debt through the human traffickers. So there are different forms and ways, and those are the three main ways that they will do them nowadays.
Wow. I think they also, a lot of these girls, don't they come from other countries and they say, hey, we paid your way here, you owe us. Yep. So you're going to work your way off of the debt you built up for us bringing you here.
Yeah.
So, like a lot of girls who just want to, come to the country, America,
which everyone
are being used.
It's free to get here, but they're told they're going to be a waitress. And to us, being a waitress, we're not going to leave America to be a waitress. But if you're in another country, you absolutely will leave America to do a waitress or, a job like that.
So just simple jobs, these girls feel like it's an opportunity.
And they take it.
And they will leave their country.
And they leave, come here, and now they are in slavery. They're being forced to live in conditions. They are being hidden from the community. A lot of times they really cannot reach out for help. If they can reach out for help, the chances are very slim. They have to take the chance and the opportunity when they have it, and they have to move fast. And a lot of them, once again, you guys, they're manipulated. So they may not even know that they have that chance because they have been manipulated, and now their brains are telling them this is what it is, this is how it goes, and who am I going to tell, because according to them, it's the right thing to do. $32 billion a year industry, you guys, and it's growing fast, okay? 4.5 million people are exploited a year. And that is growing. This number is not stopping. When we see that this is ranking the second largest criminal act, the biggest thing that you guys can actually do is prevention awareness. Prevention is always a thing that you want to run to in any type of case, but if you're aware of it, it's kind of hard to happen. So when you guys are, ladies especially, when you're walking outside and you don't know your surroundings, or you do know your surroundings, You need to look to the left. You need to look to the right. You need to check the back of your car seat. If anything looks funny to you, drive towards the police department. Do what you need to do to feel safe. Even if you think it's just in your head, this is really happening, and we have a lack of ladies and men out here that are realizing this is happening, and it is becoming a very big epidemic. And the biggest thing I can do is tell you guys to stay aware. Keep your children aware. Once you guys know,
hide your children, remember
hide
that video? That guy.
hide children,
Hide everybody.
They're out here.
This is for real,
They're not playing, you guys. They will. Like he said, the hotels, for instance.
Oh,
if
man.
your gut is telling you, don't you stay at that hotel alone, don't you stay at that hotel alone. Mm-hmm. That's just the bottom line. There are certain places. Florida is actually a big place that it goes on in the hotels. My experience, I've seen them all work together when I went to Florida. I mean, they get on a walkie-talkie. They talk to the next person that's 5 miles away. That next person connects you with that next person. So I can easily see how it goes down. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just a simple call. Hey, they're on their way. They're on the party bus right now. When they get there, I want you to snatch these two up as soon as they're not paying attention.
Yeah, so, you know what? You also got to look out for fake Ubers. Like, if you're not checking the Uber, and when you order an Uber, and you guys aren't like looking at the license plate, and you just jumping in that car, you need to match the plate on the Uber with the car. Because some people will park up there and be like, yeah, I'm your Uber. And, they just throwing it out there. And if you be like, oh, okay, I just ordered this Uber, and you just jump in.
Right.
And I have people do that. When I go out in Milwaukee or something, I'll be waiting on my guy to come out or something. People jump in my car thinking I'm an Uber. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And they don't look at the plate in my car,
You know what? I've done that. Not
really?
jumped in anybody's car, but I have not. I always pay attention to the picture. I use Lyft personally. I think it's a tidbit safer for some reason compared to Uber. Okay. I know they say they run together, but they do send you a picture of the person. But I never thought about you guys pay attention to them license plates, because that is, when you're in bigger cities, them Lyfts and Ubers, they're pulling up every 30 seconds, every 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. One is pulling up, one's pulling off, one's pulling in. Like you order,
you
that
can
Uber,
easily get in the wrong Uber. You know what I'm saying?
And if they're if that's what they're there for, they're going to make it happen. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. These people are not trying to let go of what they've been building for so long. Mm-hmm. All they're going to do is find things to go around. Per se, back in the day, we had food stamps that came out in paper. So they brought them out in cards, thinking, okay, people won't sell them. Well, there's a way. Where there's a way, there's a will. So they know, okay, well, they're catching on to us, snatching them up with sheets over their head and throwing them in the cars. Now we're just going to start them out young and manipulate them. And then when they turn about 16, they're going to leave their home, and they're going to leave forever. And at this point, they're willingly leaving. So that's one less charge, because now they're willingly going. If they're willingly going to go, what can you say? Even though they're underage.
Well, wait a minute. You said they're willingly going. I can't talk right. They're going for what reason?
So once they're trained, when they start taking them between the ages of 12 and 14.
Once they have already taken them?
Once they've manipulated them.
Okay.
It'll come the day where they'll say, now it's time to go. Now we're going on the road, and we're going.
Oh, you mean so they keep them young and get them prepared and ready, so when they do hit, 18?
When they hit 18, and not even, you guys, that's what you have to look for, too. When they are advertising, some of these girls put a cry for help out on Craigslist.
Really?
And there's code words that they use. There's code words that the human traffickers use, and there's code words that they use because they want help. So they will say, passing through town, I have a young 18-year-old girl. We're only going to be here 2 days. Usually that girl's not 18. She's probably 16 or 17. Mm-hmm. And they're only in town for 2 days, and that is true because they're just passing through.
Yeah, well, I noticed that it seems like they travel a lot to different hotels. Yep. Why is that? That these sex traffickers are always moving around so much?
Because they can't track them if they stay on the go. If they stay on the go, I know a lot of girls who actually worked at the truck stops via Backpage. They're getting all their customers off the Backpage and meeting them at the truck stops.
And they work truck stops too?
Oh, truck stops are huge, you guys. If you're ever taking a road trip and you're driving,
be careful at a truck stop.
Don't you dare go in them bathrooms by yourself with your kids. You make sure your significant other, or there's someone there to pay attention and watch out. Don't go in there alone, especially at nighttime. These truckers are big time involved. I'm not going to say they're the traffickers, but you're more than likely your possible customers.
So I had no idea that truck stops.
Yeah.
I know prostitution, but
They
sex trafficking, I didn't really realize that.
I do know a few girls actually. They really worked Backpage, and that's where they got all their customers legitimately. They, even though they were willingly, but these are the men. They're on the go too, so they're traveling through town, and they haven't seen their wife in however long, and they know they're never going to get caught. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to make this stop, and I'm going to pay this much for this young lady today, and it happens all the time at truck stops.
In 2015, I think they said that, well, from 2015, it's been over 65 arrests in Wisconsin alone for stings. They set these stings up. Milwaukee has been really big on setting up these stings.
Undercover Glendale police officer Lieutenant Thomas Treader sets up stings at hotels in hopes of rescuing victims and punishing pimps. He asked us not to show his face to protect his undercover work.
It's a means to get the pimps, because ultimately a lot of these women are victims.
And they said that it's been 65 arrests so far since 2015 because of these stings that they have been setting up to try to catch. Well, not only do they try to catch the pimps involved in controlling these women, but they also they want the women to help them get out of this situation.
And the women aren't going as easy.
No, and I don't understand that. Why?
Because they're manipulated. So a lot of times, if they are reaching out for help, what'll happen is they're not going to do it in front of the person that is their human trafficking. You guys, is usually the recruitment against your will, a form of abuse of someone who has the power to abuse you. So they abuse that power, and they transfer, harbor, or receipts other persons. The girls buy the guy. She usually will answer the phone. The guy doesn't answer the phone because they're usually the girls who answer the phone. You can tell if she's around him. If she really is aware and wants to come home, the minute she has a chance to get to that phone, she will call for help. But the timing has to be perfect, and it has to go fast, and you have to move fast.
So a lot of times these girls are looking for the perfect time to get out of this business.
Yep. If they are aware. Now, a lot of them are not even aware. If they come from different countries.
And, they have nowhere to go.
They feel
that's when it's really hard.
Very
when they
hard.
know nobody, then they're almost stuck in the life.
Yeah, and how do they get back? How do you get back to Russia, you guys?
And how do you get back on your feet? Like, even if they were to escape and run away from these pimps, what are they going to do when they don't have means of anything?
That's part of
they
the
know
power
nobody.
That they pulled over them. So they know
they're illegals. They're scared to get arrested.
They're not going to go.
They're scared to get deported.
Yep.
So it's so many issues when it comes to, people don't understand. They say, well, why, if they're in the business, why aren't they crying out for help? Why do it seems like they're voluntarily working, but they're crying out on the inside?
Because they were misinformed, manipulated.
Yeah, and it's so much more than
their awareness is not on point.
Mm-hmm.
Their education, they don't have it. So when you lack that awareness, that education, that knowledge of it, you really can't help yourself out of any situation. So if you don't know any better, you can't do any better. So to them, this is the norm. They are doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's why we're reaching out to you guys today, and you guys should reach out to your children, your loved ones. You guys share the information. If you guys, like he said, if you have information you want to share, you don't have to, you can even message it if you have questions. If we don't have an answer, we definitely can get that answer for you guys. Mm-hmm. But you guys, this is something that's very serious. This is not a joke. There are signs of the human trafficking, you guys, that you should be looking out for. If you feel maybe a loved one or a friend or somebody, maybe one of your teenage daughter's friends her behavior is, not right. You guys, there's signs of it. So if their movement is controlled, if they have false identities, if they don't know where their home or their work is, if you ask them, hey, where do you live? And they really can't give you an answer. That could be a sign, especially if you know that they live in Racine or they're familiar with the area.
And people can, if you're at a hotel and you see somebody look like they're really in distress, but they're not, saying anything, but you can tell when something ain't right. If you guys see something that don't look right with somebody, if you're traveling in a hotel and you see something, say something. I mean, a lot of these women can't say anything in front of the pimps. They're not going to tell you. So you have to, you might want to tip off a police officer and say, hey, something don't look right with this girl.
And I would say not even the hotel. I wouldn't even trust the hotel to go to them because, like I said, in Florida. Yeah, because some hotels work with they work with them, right? Together. Florida is a major chain for working together. Didn't you have a strange situation you're telling me about in Florida that isn't that
you felt really uncomfortable about?
I went to Miami, you guys. I partied for 3 days. I'm getting old. I didn't want to go the third day. I wanted to just relax and chill. I paid a nice pretty penny for this room, and I just wanted to relax. But something in my gut told me, don't do it. Just go out and don't stay there alone because.
So you felt uncomfortable just staying at that hotel? You
never know.
You thought like you'd be taken, or?
Yeah, I honestly felt like if I stayed there alone, the call would be put in.
To take you.
To say, hey, room number this, such and such, she's in there by herself. Now's the perfect time. She's
and you
sleeping.
think hotels work with some of these traffickers? They'll probably say something.
Areas, yes, I would.
Yeah, they'll probably say we just had a single female check into this room.
Yep, because
you guys might want to. Yeah.
Anything that makes money, you guys.
I'm not saying like the hotel owner's involved, but maybe an employee on night shift. Might be getting
they might intentionally go get a job at the hotel just to work that second job while they're at work.
Just to lure.
You got to think about it.
So you guys, if you guys don't, that's good to say that because if something don't feel right when you're traveling, then go with your gut.
You have to. When I tell you I stayed at the strip club, you guys, till 6 a.m. I was tired. Our flight left at 11 that next day. I'm telling you, I stayed. I went to sleep. I would go to sleep in the bar before I get took because my gut instinct was telling me don't stay here. It was weird all along, and I also felt that the hotel employees were involved. So at that point, you don't know the form cameras come in nowadays. You don't know what they have set up in these rooms. One of their little pins that say the hotel name on them could be a camera the whole time. There could be a little pinhole in the wall. They're watching your every move while you're in that room. They can tell. The front desk.
That's creepy.
They can tell. And my heart told me don't do it. And so I slept the whole flight home from Miami. Halfway there.
So you refused to stay at that hotel.
I just would not do it because. And then when I got to researching, lo and behold, Florida is where it was that I did this at and felt this certain way. And Florida is one of the biggest places that this happens in with the hotels.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that information.
So you guys, the different forms of it, I mean, the different ways, they got to switch up a little bit too. Just like we all got to switch up everything we do in life. Once you're getting caught on to, they're getting caught on. Now they got to start doing things a little more different, a little more discreet. And a little more so that the person's willing to do it. So they're not so much. Yeah,
they're trying to evolve in how they're. In 2017, you guys, in Kenosha here, a girl by the name of Haley was being harassed and she was being questioned at a beach.
These photos show Haley Asker being confronted by a man near the Kenosha Lighthouse who started grilling her with bizarre questions.
Stuff like my credit score, where I live, if there's people that care about me, inappropriate questions about sexual pain and what I like. And since I like tattoos, I must like pain. And I just kept saying, hey, I'm studying. Can you please leave me alone? At one point, I did tell the man I was uncomfortable, and he continued to just kind of sit literally right next to me.
She said a guy came up to her at the beach, and they, the kind of questions that they ask you, you kind of know when you're dealing with a trafficker. He said he was asking her stuff like, do you like pain? Or do you like sexual pain? Or how much pain can you take? And she was like, all right, like, this is odd. Why are you, I don't know you. Why are you asking me these kind of weird questions? He was asking her stuff like, what's your credit score? Because if you got a good credit score, they can use you for hotel rooms, for whatever they need, And he noticed she had tattoos. So he said, wow, you got I see you got a lot of tattoos. You must like pain because you got tattoos. So when random people, you know, are asking you these weird questions like, do you know it, or do you have anybody that care about you in your life? They're going to ask you this because they want you to say, oh, no, I have no one here, no family here.
Yep.
That can't report you as missing.
And then they prey on you, is what it is.
Yeah, so if you guys ever get, you know, someone that comes up to you asking random, weird questions, it might be a trafficker. So I think, you know, and this was in Kenosha, and she reported them right away. This was actually in the news as well. So you guys, be very careful. You guys, if you guys like this video so far, or if we're giving you information that you guys can use or is valuable to you, take a minute, you guys, to help us out. Hit that love button. Hit the wow button, or
give us
something. Give us some kind of reaction so we know you guys are liking this video. Also, you guys, feel free to comment, like we said at the beginning of the video. Leave us some comments if you guys have known anyone that has been in this situation, or if you guys have been in this situation. Please let us know right now, because that is why we are here. I'm going to play a video clip for you guys real quick. This is a girl that I know. Her name is Michelle. And at the age of 13, she was forced into sex trafficking. So let me play that video for you guys.
I had nobody except these strippers and these pimps or these drug dealers or these burglars.
Michelle Rojas Deval turned her life around after being kidnapped at 13 and sold into what she calls the life.
I was totally brainwashed. I thought that the money, the clothes, the cars, I thought this was life, because this is what the adults are doing that were around me. I ended up traveling all over, Baltimore, D.C., Indianapolis, Mississippi, everywhere. I was everywhere.
Mostly in hotels.
It was like right in everyone's face, but still under the radar.
Room numbers shared in the open.
At the restaurant, you would notice them picking people up, at the bar, all of that, in the lobby.
Lines outside hotel doors.
If you're with a group of people, it'll be like 4 or 6 girls to a room, sometimes 8, it can go up. And the person with a good name would rent the room, and everyone would share that room at the same time. It doesn't matter.
It's life Rojas Deval is proud to have left behind. She has a son and now works with women to help them leave trafficking behind them.
You have to blend in, meet them on their level, and then raise them up.
Meeting people where they are to save them, which in the trafficking world often means going into hotels.
When I first was exposed to this life, everyone who didn't want to do it was looking around, as if to look, who's going to help me? Who's going to save me? Is anyone paying attention?
That is a little clip I wanted to play for you guys so that you can get an idea of what is happening out here. And she is a friend of mine. I do know her personally. And like she said in the video, this happened to her and at the age of 13 years old. And she thought that the life was glamorous, you know, nice cars. You know, some of these young girls.
Oh, I'm doing this. I got, you know, who has this at my age? You know, I'm the only one, and you know, it is intriguing.
You know, being materialistic can kind of land you here.
Yes, it
in this position. If you are somebody that has to have fancy this, fancy that, they can lure you in because of that materialistic, you know, behavior. So if they feel like, oh, you know, you want a nice purse or you want nice shoes, they say, hey, you know, we can get her because she is so materialistic. All we got to do is tell her we're going to get her these things. So be careful, you know, about trying to be a sugar baby for some of these men out here.
Yeah, you guys, online. You guys, these dating websites, these online things,
I've
you guys.
heard a lot of stories about Tinder, dating websites, Bumble.
I couldn't do it. I thought I really didn't want anybody in Racine, but honestly, I would probably take someone I could at least know something about their background in Racine versus going out of town and meeting someone that I would never know anything about.
Oh man,
because
you know
I don't know them. It could be as simple matter as like Milwaukee. I don't know your background, whereas in Racine, I could probably know a little bit about you if I asked a couple people around, or you could know about me if you asked a couple people around. But you guys need to be careful. That new dating website on Facebook. I've seen a lot of weird stuff going on there. I can't say that it for sure is that, but you guys, if you're going to take that chance and date, you need to take precautions if you're doing it online. Somebody needs to know where you're going. Somebody needs to know where you're meeting. It needs to be in a public spot. It needs to be bright. It needs to be a lot of people. If you're going to park in an area and walk into somewhere, make sure that your license plates can be seen. Make sure your body can be seen if there is a camera and something does happen to you. All of that stuff is going to save your life if that is the case. So you guys, there are so many things that you guys need to be aware of and observant of. Literally, when I walk to my car, it's a habit for me now. I look to the left, to the right. I look at my back seat. You guys, it's not a game. It's not a joke. If I see somebody behind me too long, just weird little things, any little thing, even if it's not, I want to be careful, and I want to make sure that I'm aware. If somebody's going to take me, I'm going to take some skin, something, so I can leave some type of evidence so someone can help me. So you guys
you're gonna fight
have
back.
to be aware, and that's the big key with fighting human trafficking, is being aware of it to prevent it. We do not want it happening. We want to prevent it. Awareness is your biggest weapon when it comes to this.
You know, a lot of girls lately have been reporting that they've been followed home. So if you guys feel like, if you're walking home, late at night and you feel like you're being followed or something, seek help, call 911.
Don't even think that you're being too overly anything.
Paranoid,
Just do it. 30 years ago, when I was a kid, I would walk down an alley at nighttime. We had alleys where I lived off of 16th Street here. I wasn't scared to walk down them alleys. I was a little kid. I was 12, 13 years old, but I walked down them.
At what time?
I mean, it really didn't matter. 9, 10 o'clock at night, me and my friends would meet each other at Dairy Queen on 16. We'd meet halfway, or we'd walk to the store, and we could take the shortcut.
See, you know what? But was it as bad back then?
No, but I would.
Now that was today.
And now today.
Oh, that's a whole other story.
You couldn't pay me $1 million to walk down that alley in broad daylight.
Well, can you imagine a 13-year-old today walking around in an alley at 10 o'clock at night, especially in the Milwaukee area?
Absolutely not. And
Denver,
they got a lot of guns, because I'm a grown woman and I'm not going to pull it off. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. And there's just something about alleyways. You have no business in them. The garbage goes in them, and that's it. So that's all you're going to probably find in them.
My dad used to always tell me, don't nothing good ever happen after midnight. You ain't got no business being outside,
when the street
especially
lights are
kids.
in that house. And the girls these days, you guys, they don't look as young as they are. You're not going to know by looking at a picture that these girls are this young. You're going to know when you have a conversation, which that may never be. But by looking at them, no, you're not gonna. These girls are coming out full figured at the age of 13, 14 years old. So a lot of times
they look older than what they are.
Until you actually have a conversation and see their maturity and their level that they're on, maybe you're not gonna put that together. You're gonna say, "Oh, she's a grown lady." There's a lot of girls I've seen that look older than me nowadays, and they're 14, 15 years old. But I guess it's that day and age, and you guys just need to really be aware. If you have little girls, little boys, a form that they do them, their biggest form of the boys are the labor. They will put them to work in their businesses, and they will slave them. They will not feed them. They will not give them breaks.
Wait, boys?
They will do the boys in more of a. So the boys aren't so much the sexual.
So it's not just a girl thing.
So it's not as high as the girls. But
it's possible that little boys get taken too.
And they start them about 14 or 15. And they get them in their shops, and basically they use them for free labor. If they can save money on free labor, they're still making money. So we're not paying this amount.
Slave labor, they call it, right?
Slave, and it's all.
So is it slave / human trafficking, slave labor?
Call it modern day slavery
in the United States.
Yeah, it's called. They call it labor trafficking.
Oh,
that's what it's called.
Labor trafficking.
So
wow. So that's more commonly for boys.
That's more for boys. The girls, They will do the debt payoff with the girls. Okay, well, you owe me $300 from last weekend when I took you shopping and you said you're going to do this, but you didn't. Now you have to do this for me, or you're going to come see my friend, this male friend of mine, and we're going to meet him at the hotel. So now you're paying back what you owe that trafficker. You're paying that back
for accepting clothes.
So whatever you accept from them, nothing is free in the world, you guys. And free, even if it is not always good. So when you're accepting free things, make sure it's a good kind of free and not, I know everybody likes free stuff. But you guys, honestly, everything that glitters is not gold. And everything free is not good. Mm-hmm. So be mindful of that.
And you guys, if you like what we're doing, share this video to anybody that you think could use this kind of information.
Yes. So, you guys, let me give you a number too. I'm going to give you guys 2 different numbers to the anti-human trafficking awareness. You guys can text them. Text to 233-733. If you need to text, you can ask questions. They are 24/7 helpline. The telephone number is a 1-888-373-7888. They are also 24/7. They are the same people, so you can reach out to them. They will help you. With if you guys know anyone, you guys just get the information out there, get it circulating. At least in our own community, you guys. Racine is not a very big place, so if we can aware our community and keep our community safe and pass this information down to the next community, we're going to pay this forward, because at this point, awareness is the only way that we're going to fight these people. They're not going to stop. Mm-hmm. We're not going to stop having kids. We're not going to stop living our lives. So you guys want to make sure that you are fully aware. Use these numbers. And you're right, the CCWs, you guys, if you can get them CCWs, they are not expensive. It is a one-day class. Take advantage of that, you guys, especially the ladies. Because, you guys, we have no form of defense. I mean, we can carry pepper spray. We can take fighting classes, boxing classes. But at the end of the day, if you're eligible for that CCW, take advantage of it and put it into full force. Use it correctly. You guys, I don't want you guys out here. I don't want to give you the wrong information out here just shooting everyone all over the place, ladies. Yeah. But it is a good form of protection, and it's a very smart idea, to be honest.
I actually want to read this comment from Ruben. He says a lot of women are now taking gun safety classes, and once they get their certification, they can purchase a, how do you say it, taser weapon? Taser? Oh, a taser. Or a pistol, or a what is that, Dunham carries small arms. Is that a brand, I guess? So a Dunham small arms gun for ladies, or just go to an indoor range and actually use their weapon to shoot indoors. They love to assist you. So I guess, he's saying that if you want to get some practice to get your concealed carry, that you should start maybe going to a class and get certified on that.
And the classes are not expensive, you guys. I could actually probably leave some information on the page about classes where you can go to take them. I want to say I think they're one day. They're not expensive. It takes a little bit longer to get your license in the mail. No felons, I believe. No felonies. And that's really it. So if you guys are eligible for that, you guys take advantage. Take advantage of the CCW, because you never know when it's going to come in handy. You are taught not to shoot but not to kill. But when you're in a circumstance like that and your life is on the line and you guys are in fear of your life, this is almost like walking around without a cell phone nowadays. This is what the CCW is going to come to. If we leave our house without a cell phone and something happens to us, that cell phone could have saved our life. But we left it at home nowadays. 20 years ago, do you know how many people's lives could have been saved by simply having a cell phone?
Oh, wow.
So now what's going to happen is these CCWs, you guys are going to be saving your own lives. If you're eligible, I highly suggest you look into it.
Concealed carry, right?
Yep, concealed carry. You'll be legit. You take your license right over to Dunham's, and like he said, the shooting range is there. They are always willing to help you. Because I have a fear just looking at a gun, but nowadays it's almost like you need it for protection. So whatever it is that you need to get over, pick that gun up, go to the range, get that assistance, get that CCW. It's literally a one-day class, and it's not pricey at all, you guys.
We're coming close to about an hour, so we're going to be close to wrapping this up. I hope you guys are getting some good information that we have been sharing in this video. One thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, they are now training hotels and transportation services to spot human trafficking. So I think maybe city bus drivers and some hotel workers
That's a good thing.
are being trained to spot human trafficking and you know, call the police. And
yeah, because they do have a lot of things that they do that are that kind of stick out. And that's where they're kind of going wrong, because it's coding to us. Like we can look into the code. So that's a good thing.
And, you know, human trafficking, you guys, they love to target major events. So when there's a major event in town, like, you know, everybody going to the hotels, like they're booking out the hotels and everything, they really target those major events.
So look, you guys, we're not looking for bed bugs anymore in the hotels. We are looking for human trafficking.
We're still looking for the bed bugs.
Well, I mean, we are, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Put your bags in the tub and look for the human traffickers at the same time. Awareness, awareness, awareness. I cannot say that word enough. That is the only way to prevent this.
Be aware.
And you are not void. Let me tell you, if you think you are, you are definitely not void. It can happen to any one of us.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know that human trafficking is real.
It's very real.
And they feel like it don't exist, and they feel like this will never happen to me.
You wouldn't believe how many people laugh at me when I tell them I look to the left, I look to the right. You guys can laugh all you want,
You
but
mean like when you get in the car?
getting took. Yeah, when I come outside, when I leave a place or whatever I'm doing, I'm always careful of my surroundings, always, because you never know, you guys.
Especially at night.
Yeah,
like when you're coming out of work at night, you know, sometimes you guys, you have to, you know, some jobs have security that escort you to your car.
Yeah.
So if you guys work somewhere where a security guard can escort you to your car at night.
Don't let your pride get in your way. Let that man walk you to your car.
Definitely, because you just don't want to risk it at night, and then, you know, you get taken.
And gone by day. And when they say taken, that's exactly what happens. You will disappear.
Well, just like, you see the movie Taken? One of my favorite movies. His daughter was taken and thrown into sex slavery overseas.
And this isn't the movies, you guys. So we're not going to do all them stunts to get our kids back.
Exactly.
It's unrealistic. So I just want you guys to really, I can't stress enough the awareness. The awareness of it. Share this with your kids. Pull up some videos, you guys. There's plenty of websites that you guys can go to beyond what we're talking about here to find out more specifics, statistics, numbers, how they're doing things nowadays, the different forms of it goes deeper. So you guys, there are a lot of things out there on the internet. Be mindful of the website you go to, because I want you guys to make sure you're going to a credible website when you're getting your information, and I want you guys to have the factual information about it. But I also want you guys to just keep in mind that this is very real, you guys. And don't take it lightly, because when they take you, they're not going to take it lightly. They're going to take you heavily. So be mindful, share it with your children, and dropping your kids off at school. If you got little ones, they're not going to take, I'm going to say, like the littler ones, but you still want to be mindful. Don't drop your kids off at 9, 10 years old and make sure they do not walk inside.
Make sure they get in there.
You make sure that child.
You know, that's what happened to Alexis Patterson. Remember Milwaukee years ago?
I guarantee you she's somewhere.
I believe they said her stepfather dropped her off at school.
Yeah.
But he never waited. I don't think he waited for her to actually get in.
I will not dare leave the school without making
sure. But that could have happened to her. I mean, she's been missing for a long time.
Remember they thought they found her?
Did they?
Maybe a year, last year sometime, they had did a sketch artist of what she would look like now. And they actually took DNA from a girl, I believe, in Milwaukee, because they thought it was her, and it turned out not to be her.
Oh my goodness. That is terrible.
So you guys, that could have easily, she may be watching us right now. She just can't, she may have not had her chance to break away, you guys. So this is very real. The smart girls, when the guy was taking them, look how many, he was having barbecues with the neighbors. and had a whole house full of these girls. And
oh, well, you talking about Elizabeth Smart?
When the little girl, remember when the guy said, when the little white girl runs into a black man's arms, you know something's wrong.
Oh yeah, that was the case where this girl, he was a friend. No, he was the father of her good friend, and I believe he kidnapped her because she was valuable because that was her friend's father, and he had all these girls in his house.
Parties next door, and the neighbors with the neighbor. It was funny the way he said it, you guys, but it wasn't. You know, they were
she ran in his
parties.
arms.
And he hid these girls.
Did she have a kid too?
Yes.
Some of them had kids.
He had babies with one of them, I believe, had 2 kids.
Yeah, they had kids and everything.
And the whole time, his next door neighbors had no idea, you guys. This is how slick they are. This is how serious they are about this. And he actually wasn't even. I don't think he was even profiting out of it. I think he was just holding them in there. And
you know, didn't he die in prison?
I
think he ended up getting killed in prison. This guy. You don't remember where that was? Was that Colorado?
Was it?
Where was that? Did that happen?
Where was it?
Ohio, maybe? I can't remember.
I don't know, you guys. But
yeah, that's
that just goes to show you guys. What he said, he was drinking with the man. The man was cooking on the grill. They were sharing meals, breaking bread together, literally sharing meals, having drinks. The whole time, these girls were locked in his home. They were going into full-term labor with 2 babies.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the neighbors didn't know. So you guys, this is a very complex and slick industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, sadly to say. It is. And girls are very vulnerable, especially if you're in a state of mind where they come to the strip club to get you, and you're working for school completely over at this point, because they will do it that way too.
My sister just made a comment, said that there's a book based on that story we just told called Finding Me. The girl who asked for help, she has since written a book. And that book is called Finding Me. Nadara said, my sister Nadara Muhammad, he said he hung himself in prison. So that guy is now dead who kidnapped those girls.
So he didn't even get a chance at sentencing. So you see how a lot of them can treat other people a certain way, and then they go ahead and just take the easy way out after. And now these girls have years of psychological, traumatic issues. Who can they ever trust again in life? I do think the girl who wrote that book, she did make a very good comeback. Mm-hmm. She's a very strong girl, because I don't think it affected her psychologically. It very much did, but she was strong enough to overpass that. Not everyone can be overpass that. This could be a lifelong issue. After you're saved, after you are rescued, if it does happen, you may have problems for the rest of your entire life. This is not something you guys ever want to deal with or see a loved one have to go through.
Okay, that is very true. Ruben brought up a good point. How do you say that last name? Can you tell? Manriquez?
Ruben Manriquez.
Okay, so he has a very valid point here. He said that I heard something very sad, that these foster homes have been charged for selling foster children right here in our country.
I can believe
so. Foster homes are involved as well.
They don't care.
That's terrible.
About these kids.
You can't even trust a foster home, you know.
The younger the child, the more the money they get a month. It's an income for them. It's a job. I've seen kids, if they can abuse these children in these homes, you very much believe that this is probably going to be the next best thing that they pull up with, is getting these kids in foster care. Now, mind you, they're already vulnerable. They're already in the system. Mm-hmm. They're already traumatized, psychologically damaged. What better candidate do you have than to work on someone like that? So I can very much see that happening.
My sister said that the girl who wrote the book, Finding Me, her name is Michelle Knight, by the way, just for anybody who wants to get that book. And Ruben said, check out the documentary on YouTube about the foster care homes. He said a CIA agent started a group that would go to Africa and I guess buy kids or whatever, and then bring them back to America. They act like they want to buy the kids, and then they bust the foster care days later for selling them.
That's crazy.
So there's a YouTube documentary about all this. So you guys, do you know the name of that YouTube show, Ruben? If you can let us know that real quick.
There's another
if
little
people
girl
wanna
in
watch that.
Kenosha. She actually killed her human trafficker.
Really?
She
In Kenosha?
they're fighting for her right now. He was from Kenosha. She killed him. She burnt his house down. But had she not did that, he would be out here human trafficking. She's in prison right now for it.
She's in prison?
She got away with it. She got away from him after he.
But she didn't get away with the murder.
No, she
got away from
but
him.
they are fighting for her because she's psychologically damaged.
Exactly. Why is she
when she
in
got
prison
away,
for this?
She went back to Milwaukee, where her hometown was. Asked her boyfriend to give her a gun. Told her boyfriend, "I'm going to kill him." And her boyfriend gave her the gun, and she went to kill him, and she burned his house down.
And she's in prison for killing this guy
now.
who
It's in the headlines actually.
who pimped her out.
I want to say her first name is Crystal, a young African American lady. Yes, she did get away, you guys, but psychologically, she was not going to be satisfied until she got rid of him. So she felt free at that point, and when she felt that freedom, the only choice she felt she had was to go back and take care of him. And she went back and she killed him, and she burned it. His house is burned down. It's in Kenosha. She did burn it all the way down.
So she got
So
revenge.
they are fighting for her to
She should
not
not.
get sentenced.
Yeah, I do
because
not think
that's not a murder.
Do you know what she was sentenced?
I'm not sure what her sentence was. I know it was pretty heavy. I want to say it was a murder charge.
She shouldn't have been charged with
She
murder.
should not have been charged. Actually, her mother should have probably been charged because her mother allowed her to be out there. Her mother did not try to help her.
How old was she? Do you know?
I want to say she was 15 or 16. She
At the
thought
time
she
this was
thought she
committed?
knew it all. She ran away, and then her mom just kind of gave up on her. And everyone told her mom, you should probably get her, and her mom opted not to.
Right.
And she ended up getting involved with this man who paid for her life because obviously she's a young girl. She has no money. So here he comes. He's taking care of her. Now his friends are having parts in her, having parts in it. They're coming over. They're sleeping with her.
Oh, my goodness.
She was able to get away. Once she made that clean getaway, something in her mind just didn't allow her to go back and just leave it alone. She went back and she killed the man.
She wanted to kill this guy.
Burned down his house, and now they are fighting for this girl to not get charged with murder.
Wow.
So it's very real.
She
you guys.
definitely. I do not think she should get murdered for
Your next door neighbor
For that.
could be the person that's taking people. You guys, that's how serious it is. You don't know people these days, so you just need to be aware. Like I can't stress enough the awareness. Aware how much awareness can save your life. Observe and awareness will be my two biggest weapons against this. Besides the CCW, a little bit of pepper spray, a sock and a lock, whatever. But honestly, you guys, awareness, keeping your kids aware that this goes on, that it's not, pretend. Make sure, talk with your kids' teachers too, you guys. When these kids are out at recess, make sure, don't be scared to ask. Are you guys watching the kids? Don't be scared to pull up on a lunch break. If you know the kids are out for recess and they're of age and stuff, you guys, that's a good grounds for them to come and take them. The teachers are not paying attention a lot of the times. So make sure you guys don't. I ask all the time on Class Dojo. It's where you can talk with the teachers. Are you guys watching the kids at recess? We actually have a little group where we take turns. Some of the moms will just go to the school at random times, random days, just to watch and see if the teachers are paying attention to the children on the playground. 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're in their own little circle, and the kids are doing whatever they want to do. My
other sister, Sarah Knowles, said that girl that you're talking about in Kenosha is facing life in prison. She said her Crystal Kaiser. My other sister, the daughter, said, "I fear my daughters walking to and from school." Definitely, man. Do you know how young I see kids walking to school?
I couldn't wait to walk to school when I was a kid, but nowadays you can't.
But I see parents looking like when I'm looking. It look like kids that are 5 years old are walking home from school by themselves.
Now, if you're in a crowd, okay, maybe.
I'm like, are you serious right now?
Not by yourself. And
I know some parents are working and they don't have the means, but 5 years old and looking so little and fragile, and you just walking, and it's just like sad to me that some of these parents are allowing these little kids to walk from and to school. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Another thing I wanted to mention that Ruben said was that there's a show on HBO about ex-Navy SEALs rescuing children from sex trafficking as well.
San Diego is big on it, you guys. I did read a lot about that. They got it big time in their airports in San Diego, their airports and their hotels. That is a fact. I just read about that.
So San Diego is big on that.
Yep.
Wow. All right, you guys, it's been about an hour, so we are gonna wrap this up. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We appreciate you guys being here. If you guys find this information to be helpful and that you guys think that this information can help anybody, please go ahead and share this video with friends, family, if it can help save a life. So, we appreciate you guys.
Everybody share. Just hit that share button, because you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. Just send out that share, you guys, and that's all you got to do.
Right. And even after this live stream, because, we're going to close this out, you guys can still leave a comment on this video.
Yeah.
And let us, leave your comment about what happened to you or a friend you know, if you guys can relate to this situation, to this subject. So you don't, if you are watching this later on, you didn't catch us on this live stream, still, we want you guys to leave a comment about your experience. So feel free to do that. We do have a YouTube channel, you guys. So please go over to our YouTube channel, YouTube/Raw Topic, and go ahead and subscribe to that channel, and follow us here on Raw Topic on Facebook as well. Thanks for coming, you guys. Really appreciate it. And remember, you guys, if you can't come real,
at least come raw.
Raw Topic.